Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Cat Shorts, taking a look at big ideas in the Christian faith in small packages, using Martin Luther's small catechism for these short videos, so Cat Shorts. Today, we're going to skip the Martin Luther 16th century reformer's hat because, I'll be honest with you, I left it in the other room and we don't need it right now. I want us to cut right to the important message right now. And the important thing we need to face right now is, this isn't a real giraffe. Look, I know. Nobody was fooled. Nobody thought it was a real giraffe. You knew from the moment you saw it that was a stuffed toy. But I need to practice being honest with you, because at the heart of today's commandment is the importance of honesty. And sometimes it's helpful to start with the easy one. Start where we can be easy practicing being honest, because other times in life it's hard to be honest. It's hard to face the truth. It's hard to tell the truth to each other. It's hard to hear things we don't want to have to hear or that might be upsetting. And the Eighth Commandment is all about the honesty, the truthfulness, something solid that we owe each other. The commandment that comes out of the Catechism, which first comes from the book of Exodus, goes simply like this: You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. That sounds kind of jargony, like it's about, testifying in a courtroom, and that's maybe the most obvious application. About bearing false witness has to do with don't accuse your neighbor of something they haven't done, or say something false about your neighbor, don't commit perjury, that kind of thing. But more broadly, it's about the truthfulness, the honesty that we owe to one another. Because the grounds of any relationship with anybody, whether somebody in your family or a close friend or even a total stranger who is still your neighbor, is that we can be honest with each other. So when our older brother in the faith, Martin Luther, asked the question, what does it mean, this commandment, don't bear false witness against your neighbor? He doesn't start looking for exceptions. He doesn't say, well, okay, bearing false witness means you're under oath and it must be in a court of law, so there you have to tell the truth, but in other places you don't really have to. Just, use as much bluster or braggadocio as you can. You don't have to tell people the truth about other things in life. No, Luther just says we owe each other the truth. Don't deceive people, don't trick people, don't lie to people, don't slander them, don't dishonor other people's reputations. And also, Luther does that classic Lutheran twist where he says it's not just about doing this, avoiding this bad thing, but about what good thing we should do. We are called to be honest with each other, and that everything my neighbor says and does, I'm called to hear and put in the best possible light. That means we give each other the benefit of the doubt. I tell you the truth, and also, when you tell me something, I'm going to do my best to take you at face value, to give you the benefit of the doubt. Instead of looking for ways you could be wrong, instead of looking for reasons to hate you or disagree with you or to be upset at you, I will take the chance to give you the benefit of the doubt. Because again, for Luther, all this conversation about all the commandments, including this one about false witness and about honesty, they all have to do with love, how we love each other. Luther is not so much afraid that when we get to glory, one day we'll be standing at some pearly gates and there will be some list of times we told little white lies, and the problem is we'll lose heaven points and we won't get into heaven or get into the God club after we die. It's more like the reason we're called to be honest with each other, knowing we're already beloved by God, is that when there's a ground of trust, when I can be honest with you, there can be love, there can be respect, there can be relationship. If I can't trust you and you can't trust me, if I'm always suspicious of the things you say and you're always questioning the things I say, we can't be neighborly toward each other. And Luther sees at the heart of all the commandments is about how we love our neighbor and how our neighbors love us. So sometimes we got to start with the easy stuff. I'm going to confess to you, this is not a real giraffe. This is a pretend giraffe. And then maybe we can work our way up to the harder things in life to talk about. The difficult subjects, the times when we have to own and admit our mistakes, the times that we have to have difficult conversations with people who matter to us and let them know when they have hurt our feelings or when we've let them down, and we apologize and we admit and own our mistakes. That's a difficult part of being a grown-up. That's a difficult part of grown-up, mature life. But that's what we're called to, and that's what we're invited into. In a world where so much is fake, from toy stuffed fake animals to CGI special effects in movies to loud voices and talking heads on television that talk with a lot of bluster but not much substance. As a refreshing alternative, you and I can be voices of honesty, of clarity, of something solid in a world where so much is just smoke and mirrors. That's a gift we can give to other people, that we know others will know too, that we're reliable, that what we say we mean, And similarly, what a gift it is when you know other people in your life are reliable and that when they say something, they mean it. When they promise you something, they will keep it to the best of their ability. And that when they tell you something is so, you know you can count on it. At the heart of every other relationship is trust, which is earned through honesty. Because God's honest with us, we know we can trust God's promises. And if we're going to be faithful witnesses for that kind of God in the world, we need to be people who are reliable as well. So this week, practice truth-telling. Maybe you start with something simple. This is not a real giraffe. And then we work our way up to the more difficult, important truths in life, too. Get practicing on it, and I will too. And we'll join together next time on Cat Shorts.